Barely about 15 minutes before that soft landing. That is called 15 minutes of terror. That's what the scientists refer to it, because that's going to be very crucial. Despite all the preparations, it will be those final descent and what will happen. There are different phases. Let me take you through each phase. 15 minutes before, at about 5:45, what will happen? There is a phase called braking and altitude holding. Remember, the moon's gravity is also pulling at the Vikram Lander. So the landing sequence will begin around 5:45 p.m. It's currently parallel to the lunar surface. What is the job of the Vikram Lander at about 15 minutes before the soft landing? The landing begins when Vikram Lander reaches 25 kilometers from the moon exact spot. It will try to plan and align with the lunar surface. Now the lander will turn still for 10 seconds. There is a reason. It will still be still for 7.5 kilometers from the moon when it touches it. This 10 seconds is crucial to understand what happens with regard to lander's position. It will then, from 7.4 kilometer and still of 10 seconds, it will then start to descend to 6.8 kilometers. There's a slow and steady descent that is going to be towards the lunar surface. Then comes in the next phase. What happens after that? The fine braking will come. This is very crucial. At about 6.8 kilometers, once it has touched it from the moon, there is going to be the braking phase and the descent will start to happen. But what happens in that? Basically, at that moment, there is again going to be an understanding that the lander will try to figure out how the next step should be, and that is when the descent takes place. That is going to be about, let's go on to the next step. About 2.9 minutes later, Vikram reaches the altitude of 800 meters. Now, it's very close to the lunar surface. It has to decide how fast, where can it land, what is the actual site, and if this is the site it is going to land in. The lander hovers for about 12 seconds. This is a margin that an automated Vikram lander will have to reach the altitude of 150 meters. It will not be a steady descent, remember. There will be breaks in between for the lander to be able to stay in control and have the speed in check. This will be the most crucial part, the terminal descent, when it happens very close to 6 p.m. At that point, the Vikram will check for the boulders, craters and other obstacles. Now it's very close. It's barely there above the lunar surface. It wants to ensure that the surface is clear for its landing. All these have been done in tests. The Vikram lander will either continue a vertical descent or choose an immediate alternate site. So that about 10 to 15 seconds, that stillness will give it that opportunity to figure out, can it actually land at that point. So 52 seconds, about a minute, that is when the scientists will be sitting with a bated breath, because that is when Vikram lander by itself will be able to decide if it can land given the craters, the obstacles, the boulders on moon surface. If it chooses to go ahead with that site, it will descend to 10 meters above the lunar surface. Now it's right above on the lunar surface. As you can see in that illustration, that is how it's going to look about at about 6 p.m. From 10 meters, Vikram lander takes 9 seconds to then come and soft land on the lunar surface. This is the south pole of moon where Vikram lander will land, and we will of course be standing to cheer for our scientists and Vikram lander, out of which the Pragyan rover will come out and be on the lunar surface.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.